Hey guys, Sleepy here, and welcome to a brand new episode of my weekly gaming playlist series. We made it to another Friday, so it's time for us to do a recap and talk about the games I played this week and let you guys know what I thought of them. Of course, I'd like to hear your thoughts as well, so if you played any of the games shared with you today, let me know what you thought of them. I always enjoy hearing about games you guys are playing as well, because that gives me ideas of games that I might want to check out myself. And if you guys have recommendations on games you think I might enjoy playing, let me know. You guys have recommended some really good games, and I still have a nice list of games to either play or pick up from your guys' recommendations of this series, so I really appreciate it. I got a brand new game to share with you guys that I just started playing last week. I actually started playing it right after I beat the Crisis Remastered on the Xbox Series X. Really had a lot of fun with that one. And this one just came in, and I've been having a lot of fun with it as well. And that is a game called Hell Is Us. Now, this game was released on Xbox Series X, PlayStation 5, and the PC. It is a really interesting third person. It's a semi-open world. It's like an adventure with some RPG elements. There are some Souls-like parts of this game, but it's definitely not a Souls-like game. It's not a game where you're meant to die a million times and have these crazy difficult bosses or anything. Now, there is an option menu where you can put on a penalty that if you do die, all the enemies will respawn, and all of the shards that the enemies drop, which you use to upgrade weapons, you lose. You can turn that on if you want to, but it's not the default. And so I don't have that turned on because obviously that's not what the developers wanted you to experience the game with. But it is there if you want to add a little bit more difficulty to the game. Now let me read you guys from the back. Trust your senses, ready your blade. In an isolated country ravaged by civil war, discover the secrets of your past and confront a mysterious calamity. Battle enigmatic enemies, exploration, investigation, combat, uncover everything by yourself. So you play as a character called Remy, and he gets into a country called Hadia, and the game starts off where you're actually being interrogated by some kind of group. You don't know who they are because they don't give you anything, and your character's being interrogated by this big, fat, ugly dude who just looks weird. He looks like he's out of a H.P. Lovecraft world. Like, that's just the vibe I get from the guy. He just looks really odd. And he's interrogating your character about why you were in the country. And so the game takes place as you're explaining to him why you went there. And that's where the game starts off, where you're thrown right into the world. And as you play through the game, it's actually your character telling the story of why you're in that country. Now, the country is ravaged by civil war. You got these Sabinians and you got these Palamists, two different groups that are in the country. They hate each other. They've been fighting each other in a civil war, killing each other, doing all kinds of unimaginable things to each other. There's a lot of really dark and violent things you'll find in the game, so I do have to warn you that, like, you're gonna see children dead, women, men, older people hanging, people dead in the streets, just a really dark time, and that's where it deals with really dark elements. And then there's all these creatures you have to fight, which have come as part because of this evilness that is war, why these enemies are there, these creatures, demons they call them, why they have manifested in the world is because of the evil civil war that's been happening. And so you're thrown into the world and you're trying to figure out what the calamity is and how you can stop it. And that's where the story takes place. So let's check out some of Hell Is Us. Hey guys, we're checking out a really interesting game called Hell Is Us. This is a third-person, semi-open world action-adventure title. It does have some RPG elements, but it doesn't have your traditional leveling up your character, your strength and vitality and stuff like that. You do level up your weapons and armor, but you don't really level up your own character, so you don't have those kind of RPG elements to it. It's also similar to like a Souls-like game, but it's not a Souls-like game. It doesn't have the same mechanics that Souls games are known for. Has some, but not all of them. It really is its own unique thing, so let's check it out. And I've been playing a little bit over 9 hours, and I have been having an absolute blast with this game. Game does look really good here visually, looks awesome. I'm playing it on my Series X with my 4K Samsung TV, looks beautiful. Love the graphics, the trees look so realistic. Did a wonderful job with the vegetation. The water looks good, the raining, just everything about this game is really top notch. And it's only a AA game, it's not even a AAA studio that made this. But you definitely know that these developers had a love and passion for this project, and it's really great. Has really good music and wonderful voice actors as well. So your character starts out the game with this little tablet, and this is basically your menu system. So this keeps track of your quests for you. Now what's unique about this game is it does not hold your hand. This is like an old school game from back in the day where it gives you very little details. You have to figure it out on your own. There's not going to be a magical compass somewhere. There's no maps. It's not going to tell you, go meet Sally at this village, and it's going to have a quest marker with the meters or feet away telling you how your distance or anything. It doesn't have that. You have to figure it out by talking to NPCs, finding clues, and listening to them. Like, when I had to go to this APC, the character told me to follow wind chimes through the forest so that I wouldn't get lost. So see, there's these little wind chimes. And so for me to get to here, you know, I followed the wind chimes through the forest so I didn't get lost, because he said that's how you get there. So the game isn't telling you how to get there. You do have a little compass, but there's no marker going to come up on the compass or anything just to get you the basic idea. So they might tell you something like, oh, meet this lady, it's northeast of here, up a hill by a big brown tree. There's your description of where to go. Now you have to figure it out on your own. And sometimes you'll find clues and stuff that you can read that'll give you a little bit more information. So I really like that aspect where the game doesn't hold your hand. I think that's pretty cool. The little thing about the people you meet just gives you some information about them, different quest items you have, and then the locations that you discover will be here. Give you a little information about those. You have your loadout screen, so this is where you can equip your weapons, you can equip different defensive gear. You can have 2 weapons at a time equipped, and they can level up. I got level 9 there, and I got level 6. I got my Sword of Rage, and then I got my Pole Arm of Ecstasy. I really love the Pole Arm. It became my favorite weapon once I unlocked it. You have your drone here to keep stuff of stuff. Your outfit. If you buy any of the DLC, you can actually change your look if you want to. And then there's different stylings that you unlock as you play the game. Inventory keeps track of all your stuff here, like I said, so these are like the stuff I found in the world. And it'll be a little clue here. And you might read it and help you discover something for a quest or something. So that's the stuff you have to really pay attention to. You do get a drone, which is cool. It's a companion. He does have a flashlight ability on him, so when you go into dark areas, you can turn the flashlight on. You can also use his abilities, and you unlock different drone modules, which you can equip up to 4, but there's more, and they do different things. Like this one I really like is a stun one. You can stun one of the enemies for a duration of 30 seconds. As you level up, it'll do more, and you can use that time to do a power attack on an enemy, or maybe say you're fighting a couple enemies, and you want to focus on one, you can have one be paused there while you work on one, and then you can attack the other one, which I like. The exploration here, this keeps track of all your side quests, so there's these good deed quests to work on. There's also these mysteries to solve in different areas, have different amounts of them. If you discover one, it'll say incomplete, and when you do complete it, it'll say complete on there. And then there's this unauthorized section, which I haven't got to unlock yet. I'm assuming that it happens later on in the story. Let's get back to the APC, because we're going to traverse to the next area. Because this is where it's not it's a semi-open world. Like, you have different areas you're into, but you have to travel to different areas through the APC. So you're not going to walk from one area to the next. You use the APC to do that. And so you're in little open world areas, but the whole world isn't open to you. And they open up as you play through the story. So you start off in one area, then I unlock 2 areas, and then I unlock the 3rd area. And there's more areas, but you unlock them as you play. So right now, we started here, then I went here, and then I went to this 3rd area. But we're going to go back to the 2nd area, because there's some NPCs here and this little town. So here's one of the NPCs. It's a he's a blacksmith, so he's able to craft stuff for you. You have to actually find him, help him, and then unlock him as a NPC to use. But he'll help you by crafting things. So here you guys, we'll talk to him so you guys can see what that's like.
Welcome back. Let me know if you need any repairs or enhancements for your weapons. Just make sure you have enough materials.
So on the left is your investigations for quests and things. The right side of them will be general knowledge. If there's anything new, it'll be highlighted. So I'll just ask him a random thing.
What are these weapons? They're called limbic weapons. Vitalis told me that they were intricately tied to this country's history. He taught me how to repair and enhance them. But to do so, I need limbic shards. And Vitalis wouldn't tell me where the shards come from. He kept a small stash hidden behind the red toolbox. Go get it, and I'll show you what I can do.
So the enemies you kill will drop shards, and it's based on the type of enemy you kill is the type of shard you'll get. And then those are used for crafting. So we'll go here to his crafting menu for us.
Let's get those weapons serviced.
So like he can upgrade your weapons here for you, and there's different ones. And as you use the weapons, they actually level up. So you'll see a level meter. Every time you kill an enemy, it gains XP for the weapon, and it gets stronger. So you have to get that. But then you can see that it costs shards. It costs neutral shards and terror shards. Because there's different emotions that the enemies are based upon. And those are the different elements to the game, which is really cool. You also can upgrade your defensive gear, which I got it currently maxed out. You can get consumables. You can actually find like crafting books and stuff that you can give him, which he'll then learn new stuff that can make your weapons stronger. And there's these different glyphs that you find by completing different quests and stuff. So let's go out in the world and show you guys some of the combat. Real quick too, these little areas are your save icons. You'll find them throughout the maps. Will be spread out. And what's cool is, and you find ones out in the world, you can fast travel back to the APC at one of these save points. Now, when you die, there's an option. You can turn on this death mode where if you die, similar to like a Souls game, all the enemies are going to respawn and you lose all the shards that you had picked up. However, unlike a Souls game, you can't retrieve those shards. So that option is turned off by default. You can turn it on if you want to, but I'm just keeping it off as I wanted to keep it the way the developers intended it for you. But I like that they have that option for you to tweak to your own liking. Now we'll start doing some combat battle here. These are the little hollow warriors, these little creatures that you fight. But sometimes they have a color to him. He has a red, which is rage, which means he has an entity tied to him. So I actually have to defeat the entity first before I can kill him, because he's invulnerable as long as that thing is alive. So when you get approached to him, it'll actually come out and release it. I'm going to use my drone so I can stun it, which I really love that ability. And enemies can block you as well. Now, if you guys saw that little meter under me, that little circle, it starts out like particle and then it turns to a white. If you hit the RB button when it turns white, you can actually heal yourself. So you can heal in the middle of combat, which is something unique to this game, which I think is really cool, because there are health items you can find and use, but it's better to heal during combat than using up your health items, because there's not like an infinite amount of health items. You know, there's only so many of them spread out throughout the world. So definitely a unique aspect is killing the enemies to heal yourself, which I think is just really cool, and I really like that aspect to this game. So, give me a second to pause. We'll get to another group of enemies so I can show you guys some more of the combat. Alright, we're going to find a whole group of them up here. Now, sometimes the enemies will be on the ground. Sometimes they're actually dead. Other times, like these ones, they're playing possum. They're pretending to be dead. And as soon as you approach them, they'll get up and start attacking you. So you got to be careful. They sometimes will blend in with the ground. You might not even notice them and step into a trap. What's cool is you can lock onto different enemies. And you can block enemies' attacks, but if they turn red and you hit the block button right before they hit you, you'll actually parry them and you can do major damage to them, which is really cool. There's also finishers. Sometimes you can get an enemy like knocked down and they'll be stunned, and then it'll have you push like the A button to do a finisher move on them, and it'll kill them real quick. So just wanted to show you guys some of the combat. Now, like you hold the menu here, if I hold the right button, those are the different abilities that the drone can do. But I can also unlock the drone, so I can let him go free roam. I can turn this flashlight on or off. Over here, you can sheath your weapon, or I can switch weapons because I have the two different ones. So there's a little bit different here. There's a sword one that's based on rage. And so you have those little different abilities there. You can switch on the fly. Now, what's cool, too, about this game with your health is every time you take a hit, your health will go down. You also lose your stamina. So if you get your health really low, you lose a lot of stamina, and it makes it a lot harder to fight. Because every time you attack, see my endurance meter there, the stamina is going down. And when it gets to 0, I open myself up to being attacked by an enemy. Because you'll see he'll get tired. And then if they hit you when you're low on endurance, they'll do even more damage than if you have your endurance bar filled up. So you have to balance that, you know, and not just go crazy, wildly swinging at enemies, going nuts. You know, you have to realize, you know, you have to be careful, watch your timing and stuff, learn when to dodge at enemies, know when to run to. But I really am enjoying the combat. Now, some of the NPCs you'll run into will just talk a little bit, but they won't give you any super details.
Good haul. We usually don't find much in these backwater Palamas shitholes. Last time we hit, we barely filled up one truck. Voss is happy. And if Voss is happy, we're happy. He keeps the real good stuff in his office. We'll be living large after this.
And then spread out throughout the world, you'll actually find various items that you can collect. We'll come down here, and they'll have different colors. They'll mean they're different things, different collectibles and stuff. And so you'll see them highlight like that. So that's where you know that's an item you can collect right here. And there, I just got a little note left from somebody, and you can read it. And this might have a clue. It might have an item with it that has related to a quest. And see, it says it's part of a good deed, so now there's a Sunder quest I just started by figuring out who that goes to. You also have other collectibles, like these little audio things here you can collect.
Pull them out of there. Didn't think Palamas were clever enough to work heavy machinery like this. Color me surprised. Check his pockets. Take that silly little acorn, put her with the rest. No, please. Don't take it. Shut up. No. Fuck. You got blood all over my boots, you fucking asshole. All right, boys, go round up the rest of them.
So you'll find different things and like that, and clues and stuff around the world. I've been having a lot of fun with Hellas Us. If you like adventure games, you know, third person ones, and you want something that's not going to hold your hand, it's going to be a little challenging, you know, you have to think. I mean, there are guides out there online and videos you can follow on how to solve the quests and stuff, because there's a lot of puzzles for you to solve as well. Like, you might come into an area here, and you'll find something you have to find a key for something, and you have to figure out how to get to that key or how to solve the puzzle. And you have to think on your own, which I really like. You know, I find it more satisfying to figure out a puzzle than just going online and looking up a code to unlock it. You know, I find it just more satisfying when you yourself figure out a puzzle. Like, you'll have one here. You know, you got to figure out what pieces go in here to unlock whatever is in this box here. which I think is better when you do it yourself. So I've been having a lot of fun with this game with Hell is Us. I like the combat, I like the characters, the story, the setting, just a really wonderful game. I think you guys would enjoy, and I highly recommend you guys check it out. Alright, hope you guys enjoyed that look at Hell is Us. I'm having a lot of fun with this game. I'm about halfway through the story now. I've got 25 hours in since last week. Now, they do say that you can beat the game in about 25 hours if you just go through the main story and you don't do the side quests and you don't really explore as much as I'm doing with the game. I'm taking my time. I did want to warn you guys, though, that this game is not easy as far as it comes to figuring out stuff, because the game does not hold your hand. There are no interactive maps in the world. Like, there's sometimes you'll get a map you'll find, and it'll be a map of the area you're in, but it doesn't interact and show you where you are with the map. So it's like if you had in real life, you know, someone handed you a map to get somewhere, you know, you would see like the roads and stuff and where to go. Well, you got to figure out where you are in relation on that map. So I thought that was a really interesting part. There are no quest markers telling you what to do. You know, you have to listen to characters about what they want to pick up that they have a quest they need you to complete for. You might hear somebody like saying an example that they left something behind, they wish they had it, they left it in their house, and so now you got to go find their house where the item is and then bring it back to them. And then when you pick up the item, it's not going to tell you like, oh, hey, this is for that character so-and-so you talked to. You need to bring it back to them. You know, you have to remember where they're at. So you may want to have a pen and paper and write down some clues and stuff, because like in the very beginning of the game, there's a character you meet and he tells you how to get to the APC, which is the vehicle you use to move around the map. And he tells you, oh, you got to follow the wind chime, because I did that so my sons wouldn't get lost when they were children. So you actually have to listen for and see where the wind chimes are, and then follow that path so you don't get lost in it. I mean, you can really, I mean, the area's not that huge, so it wasn't really that hard to get lost, but that's the kind of like clues you'll get where they're kind of vague and you have to figure it out for yourself. There's all these different puzzles and stuff you have to figure out on your own, like how to do them, and you get that by listening to characters, paying attention to what they say, and then different clues you find, like pieces of paper you might read that have a clue or something, and you have to solve some of these riddles and stuff to complete those puzzles that then help you move along the story. Now, the game is semi-open world. It's broke up in like different levels where you'll start off in one, but as you play through the story, you actually can get to new areas, and you travel to different areas by the APC. You don't actually walk to them. And so the levels are like contained in levels. There's different areas you can't go to. And sometimes the level itself might be blocked off with something by a locked door or something, and you may return to that area after you've been there later in the story, and new areas might unlock in that place, which is really cool. Now, one of the shortcomings that a lot of people have said, and I kind of agree with it, is that there's not a huge variety to the enemies. These hollow warriors, I think there's like 4 or 5 different versions of them, and that's all you fight throughout the game. There are a couple little bosses that you will battle. There is, I know, a final boss, and there's a couple little like smaller mini bosses that you will battle, but they don't respawn. So there are some of those. But I've really been enjoying the game. I really enjoy the combat. I like that it's not a Souls-like experience. You know, it's kind of its own thing. But I've been having a lot of fun with it, and I definitely think you guys should check it out. Now, I did want to warn you guys, and I'm glad that I read this, that you have to be careful how far you progress the main story, because certain characters will leave based on events that happen by you progressing the story. So if you don't complete a side quest, you won't be able to unlock all the side quests, because that person may disappear. And I'm glad that I found that out like 18 hours into the game. I'm glad that I didn't complete this one story thing, because I was busy working on farming resources, because I was killing enemies to harvest the shards so I could level up my weapons, because the enemies were starting to get really difficult. And I'm glad that I read that. So there is a guy that has created an online guide. I'll share it for you of how to solve the quests. I recommend using it just to tell you the missable quests, like, hey, don't do this quest before you do these other 2 quests or you'll get locked out of them, especially if you want to unlock all the achievements, which I'm working on. So I'll have a link posted to that of what I'm using. It's a great guide, but if you do get lost, the guy will show you on how to solve the puzzles and how he did it and stuff. So it's very helpful. But I'm having a lot of fun with Hell is Us, and I think you guys should check it out. And I have the European copy, but I also have the American version that was released. I got this from GameFly. This game got a really small print run, unfortunately, for the Xbox Series X. It's just how it is these days, especially these AA games, you know. They don't release a lot of copies. Now, there's a lot of PlayStation 5 copies. You can get plenty of those, but it's really hard to get the Series X version. So if this is a game that looks cool and you want to add it to your collection, I highly recommend getting a copy now rather than waiting too long, because it's just going to be another one of those Trepang 2 situations where you probably will not be able to easily find a copy if you want to have it in your collection. Now, what's cool about this Deluxe Edition version is the DLC that they give you. There's some in-game items and some in-game skins and like a new suit to wear and hat and stuff are physically on the disc. You don't have to download them. They're actually on the disc, which I thought was really cool. You can also buy the Deluxe Edition content for $20 separately on the marketplace if you want. If you buy just the regular vanilla copy, that's up to you. But I definitely recommend getting this now if it's something that looks cool to you. Let me know your guys' thoughts, though. Have you guys heard about Hell Is Us? Have you played it? I would love to hear about the games you guys have been playing lately. And if you have a recommendation on a game you think I might enjoy playing, let me know. I'm always looking for new games to play and experience. I want to thank you guys for watching. Take care. You guys have an awesome day. And Sleepy will see you next time.